Operation Warcade is an old school arcade shooter, reimagined for VR. It's available for the Vive and Rift for about $20 US. Here's my review of it in its current state as of August 2017. Starting with the story. Aside from the context that you're in some sort of magical retro arcade, surrounded by creepily proportioned NPCs with some of the most jankiest animations I've ever seen in a video game, there really isn't any. That leads us to gameplay. The game is accessed via the Operation Warcade cabinet, which works fantastically and behaves pretty damn true to actual arcade machines. That is, until you start the level, at which point the screen becomes a giant window into a 3D world of carnage and cannon fodder. The gameplay consists of firing from this perspective as the world rolls by, as well as immersion experiences activated by shooting special power-ups, which beam you to that location and arm you with a particular weapon or vehicle. For example, you might find one hand steering a truck and the other on an Uzi, raining hellfire from a jet, sniping targets at a distance, riding on the roof of a car with dual shotguns, or up close and personal with throwing knives. In addition to immersion power-ups, the game features a range of weapon power-ups. These include dual wield, special grenades, and special weapons, such as the gravity gun. The game features 6 different locations, each hosting 6 missions. Each mission comes with 3 challenges which are used to unlock further levels. As you progress, you'll also unlock customizations, which are essentially perks. Now let's talk enemies. You will encounter gun-toting infantry, knife-wielding infantry, armoured vehicles, helicopters, boats, drones, and jets. Not all that much variety, but it's about what you got in these old arcade games. The AI is certainly nothing special, but can be somewhat forgiven since once again, this is essentially a period piece. Less forgivable is the occasional enemy trying to shoot you through a building, and a weird glitch where they kind of flop around like fish out of water. That brings us to weapons. You'll spend most of the game with an Uzi in one hand and grenades in the other. While the Uzi has infinite ammo and no reload, your supply of grenades is finite. As mentioned earlier, you can acquire special weapons by shooting weapon power-ups. However, these only last for a short time, after which you revert back to the Uzi. Overall, I felt the weapons were fairly well done. The bow feels natural to use. The weapon sights are great once you get used to them. And the throwing of grenades is much less finicky than many other titles I've played. All of that said, everything is not all candy and roses. I did encounter a number of bugs, such as spawning empty-handed, and the sniper rifle taking excruciatingly long to grip both of my hands. Now for health. Take too much damage and you will die, upon which a countdown screen appears. Don't shoot the screen within 10 seconds and the mission will end. Shoot the screen and you will continue right where you left off, with no real consequences. On to difficulty. Given that you essentially have infinite lives, the difficulty isn't in completing missions but rather in completing the challenges. I personally found the difficulty pretty ideal. There are enough easy challenges to allow for the progression of those simply wanting to tear shit up after a long day's work, but there are also harder challenges for those who desire to push themselves and top the leaderboards. As for locomotion, it's all done by moving naturally through your play space, and despite being in motion for the bulk of the game, I felt no discomfort whatsoever. That leaves us with graphics. The graphics are functional and true to the era that they're trying to capture, but they certainly won't be winning any awards. The game offers 5 different graphic presets, ranging from low to ultra mega extreme. As for performance, the game ran okay on my 1070 set to normal, but anything above and I started to see the occasional frame drop. Now let's talk about crashes, and there have been many. I lost count in the double digits, which is totally unacceptable for a fully released game. Given that we're roughly 2 weeks past release, I really hope a patch is incoming. Now for the verdict. I've had an absolute blast playing this game, and despite the occasional jankiness, I would heartily recommend it, if it weren't for the crashes. As it is, if you're on the fence, I'd suggest waiting for a patch.